that I was ballin' with. Saying rap ain't finna get my ass a scholarship. And how come every teacher's motto is music ain't gon' do for you what college did for me. That's the problem there, see baby, I ain't you on me. Tonight I'm gonna party with the people that believe.
Mendoza checks it down. Thomas is met immediately. Got it away. Mendoza scores. Wow. First and goal. They'll spot him closer to the 8. Here's Green. Trying to win a foot race against Washington. Gets a block to the outside, and he will take it in. Allen motions out of the backfield. McCord looks left. It's intercepted. Touchdown. Pitt. McCord. Intercepted. Kyle Lewis. Touchdown, Pitt! Well, it's just been that kind of night. Braylon Lovelace
goes to the end zone. It is a one-handed grab and a Texas touchdown by Matthew Golden. Justice Haynes. That is a well-earned touchdown.
And under 300 yards for the first time this season. Here comes a trick play and a throwback to Ward. This will help his numbers. A touchdown catch. And his 28th touchdown responsible for. It's the tight end Elijah Arroyo with the pass.
Nice spiral off, and Harding makes the catch at the 42-yard line. Cuts upfield, he's slippery, keeps on his feet, almost got hammered from behind, blitzes up ahead, down the near sideline, it is Harding on the touchdown.
The handoff to the edge and a first down and a lot more. There goes Morrison into the red zone. Still on his feet, touchdown Kansas.
Aller looking end zone, open, oh, one-handed grab, Singleton can do no wrong, touchdown Nittany Lions.
Another drive with glimpses, and they're going to fake the field goal. It'll be taken for a first down and a touchdown.
On 3rd down and 7, here comes the pressure. Retzloff reads it, gets up through it. He's got a first down inside the red zone, still going, and he's gone for the touchdown.
Run first, Vandy offense. Pavia pressured, trying to scramble and finds the edge. He scrambles for the first down, and he hits the pylon. He's in.
Throws late and completes it. Tez Johnson cuts it to the outside. Did he get there? Yes, he did.
And Duke Watson. Shuck's gonna let it fly. Down the sideline. One-handed catch by Brooks.
What a catch.
I mean, he had one earlier where around the same area.
Parrish breaking tackles at the 5. Gets a push into the end zone for an Ole Miss touchdown.
That leads the league. Pressure off the edge, and it's intercepted. D'Angelo Paz roll out the big red carpet. Touchdown, Indiana.
Edwards gets a toss. He's passing it. Touchdown! Preston leveled his second of the game.
Mono keeper. He pulled it and scores. One play touchdown drive of the Aggies. Claim momentum and cut into this lead. And Reed looking to throw. Nope, not for long. Takes off running and will spin down near the goal line. And they will shove him into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yards will come when they're running off the right side. First down to the 40-yard line. Howard sets up, throws a deep ball. He's got a man! Caught! Touchdown! Buckeyes! Cornell Tate!
From the 15. Weegen into
Northwestern territory. Regions on his feet. Touchdown! Return by Drew Wagner. And Wagner with all kinds of real estate. He's past Dakin. And it's a Northwestern touchdown.
Shedeur Sanders. Oh, what a move. Oh, he hit him with the sauce. Touchdown! Sanders taking a shot. Got a man! Room service. Touchdown! Hunter!
3rd and 1. Caleb Johnson. First down. Touchdown!
Look out. Aaron Anderson went down low. It's a sprint. Anderson will not be caught. Touchdown, 76 yards for the Tigers.
Arnold avoids a sack, avoids it again, extends the play, front left pylon, front right pylon, scooping it up is Jordan for the touchdown.
Led by the Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels. Jeremiah Love off to the races. Touchdown, Notre Dame, 64 yards.
And he said they text pretty often. Advice on a lot of things, including another touchdown by your tailback. Noah Whittington just ran over everybody.
Retzloff goes to Roberts. Ball is caught. First down and then some. It's a slip tackle and it's a BYU touchdown. Screen for Presley. Met immediately. Presley breaking free though. Presley down the sidelines. How does he stay in? It's a touchdown.
Johnson, a little jump pass, wide open for the touchdown. Garrett Oakley.
Well, this Virginia Tech Hokie team, Drones. Now the reverse. Lane wants to throw it back to Drones. Touchdown, Hokie.
First down for the Trojans. Moss again. It's a screen. It's Ford one more time. A nasty stiff arm. He is in.
2nd down and 2 to start the 4th. Darius Taylor.
Oh, he's so good.
Squeaks his way out of a tackle. Now hits the sideline. Open grass in front. And he is gone.
He takes off, running the option in, keeps it. Harvath inside the 30, the 20. Blake Harvath will score.
Burkhart, oh, it's a fake. There he goes for the corner. Touchdown.
And it's intercepted, tipped, and then caught by Ritzy. And the big fella still rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. He's going to go the distance. If he can catch his breath, that is a touchdown. Can you believe that?
3rd down. McNamara. That's intercepted. Theron Johnson of Northwestern. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Wildcats.
It's a return for James Madison, and there is the seam, and he's still on his feet up to the 50. There he goes down the sideline. Cam Ross to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, James Madison.
To the bottom of your screen against a shorter defender.
Hoover again. Crossing pattern. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. It's a moot point now. It's Rogers, the tight end. 2nd and 5. Pressure up the gut. Looking for and finding a pair of 8s. It's McAllister. Picking them up. Putting them down. Touchdown. TCU.
It's up. It's long enough, and it's good! Jackson Carville for the win!
Shoulder roll. Laga, a sizzler, hits a touchdown!
53-yard attempt from here. Pump fake for Daniels. Launch one for Io Manor. Oh, and it's intercepted by Nick Anderson.
Daniels takes off. The stutter step. Another move across the goal line for the touchdown. He
wants to throw it. Now will take off. With a path and a tumble, and the ball comes out. Kansas State jumps on top of it. Brandon Mott. Tennant on the way. Chris Tennant connects from distance. Kansas State back in front. Here comes the pressure. Daniels running away from it. Racing to the edge, and he lost the football out of bounds.
For the win. Martin splits the uprights, and Houston wins on homecoming, 17-14.
Hennigan heaving it up to the corner. It's a grab.
Bringing pressure, Childs gets out of it. Childs throws. Incomplete. Back to Dawson Pendergrass.
He just
Genty, the Clydesdales are in. Is Genty in?
Zone, that's Panko on it, and we're
Corner. It's a grab.
Bringing pressure, Childs gets out of it. Childs throws. Incomplete. Back to Dawson Pendergrass.
He just
Genty, the Clydesdales are in. Is Genty in? No signal
This is
yet.
so close.
On 4th and goal. Officials are there. Touchdown!
for the win. Kick is blocked. And SMU falls on it, and we're going to overtime. Snap to Jennings. Here goes Brashard Smith. 10-5 SMU in front first. 24-yard touchdown run, Brashard Smith. Murphy to throw. For the end zone, that's Panko. Touchdown, Duke. Here's Murphy. Buying time to his right. Throws and incomplete. No flags. SMU wins.
Last man through. Now it's a touchdown. Raiola. Inside handoff.
These people don't give a shit.
Who's giving them the business?
All the man is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. There goes Davis. Oh my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. It's going to win the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown. And the Gators have won the game. 50 to the 40. Herman Whitfield to the 30. To the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown FSU.
What's cooking on this slow, smooth AM version of college football extravaganza, everybody? I feel like a late night DJ on 93 BLX.
93 BLX.
93 BLX. No, Nick at night. Night. What's up, Justin? You've had a long night. I've had a long day and night. But we're here.
Yeah, we're getting it done. You know, there's a lot, it's a grind, man. You know, you have to be committed when you do this type of thing. And we said we have to do this tonight or we have nothing. And so here we are. We're doing it tonight.
Or we have nothing.
We have nothing. We have nothing.
No, man, I'm glad we did. You said we try to get Joey on. He's got some shit at his house going on.
He has a deck.
He's got a new deck being built, which his new deck needs to be built. That thing was in rough shape.
He's had a pretty shitty deck for a while now.
Yeah, his deck has a hood on it, so that's
his dick is.
Yeah, yep.
Fucked it up.
There it is. Freudian slip, but neither here nor there. We're here. It's almost 2 a.m., so let's get right to it. Last week, big, huge fucking week, dude. Huge week in college football. Yeah,
last week was a great. How could you not put a pod out whenever you had a week like last week? It was truly a good week in college football, I have to say. It wasn't too many surprises. You had a couple really good games, but outside of that, it's like, okay, it wasn't anything that was too crazy. It kind of brought us a little bit back down to earth from what we had seen the past 3 to 4 weeks in college football, which had been mayhem, number one teams losing back-to-back weeks. It was crazy that we were seeing some of the upsets that we saw. So got brought back down to earth a little bit in the college football world, but we're still seeing an extraordinary season that is just perfect for that first year of that 12-team playoff that we are rolling into.
Yeah, I think so. So starting off, we are a Florida-based podcast here, so just to go back over. What is that?
It's so loud.
There you go.
It was so loud.
There you go. That was ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Florida State, Miami. This, brother, was that on the whole time?
No.
Does that sound on the whole time? It just
hit.
Happened? Okay. That's good.
Hit.
All right. That's fine. I know what's going on with it. That's fine. We had to re-upload everything. That's a pretty hype song. I had it on one of the.
It's not what my ears need.
No, not right now.
1:43 in the morning.
No, not right now. I was going for smooth jazz, not EDM.
Yeah,
so,
I'm rolling with what we have going on right now. It's definitely not a college football vibe, but it's okay for what time we're doing this at right now. We are doing some late night talk.
So Florida State gets trounced by Miami, and I want to talk Heisman. I want to talk Heisman this episode. This game, Cam Ward. Probably one of the top 3, top 4 guys going into this last week when you're talking about Heisman odds. I think he kind of underperformed for a lot of people. He did not throw a touchdown pass. He had a touchdown reception against FSU, and maybe that helps his Heisman odds. But
I personally, I kicked him out of my Heisman finalists. You kind of have that rolling top 4 all year round. I kicked him out of that probably around the Virginia Tech game.
When they almost lost, should have lost on the Hail Mary.
I was like, okay, he had impressive stats, but really the Cal game after that, he only threw for 2 touchdowns. But his yards have been great. But this was definitely probably his worst performance that we've seen. Personally, he has great yards, he has great numbers. But I feel like Heisman's always come down to winning at the end of the day. And right now they're undefeated. So he's getting the job done. And you usually do have that one slip-up game every Heisman does. I mean, Ashton Genty had his worst game of the year this past weekend. So, we're seeing that happen throughout the country, of course. I mean, Kyle McCord, he was apparently a Heisman in the Heisman talk. And...
yeah,
I wasn't wrong, Rob. I just wasn't wrong.
No, you were definitely right. That was a huge one. You were definitely right on that one. Kyle McCord shat the bed.
Shat the bed.
Terribly shat the whole. He shat his own bed, and then he went into someone else's bed.
Correct.
And took a shit in that bed also. And everyone's like, "What are you doing in my bed?" He's like, "Throwing interceptions. What are you doing here?" And let's just he had no chance at the Heisman whatsoever.
No, I mean, I said it like clear as day. This guy could have a pretty girl looking at him in the stands, and he would throw 3 picks. And he did that and so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't perform in real deal games. We saw that Ohio State. That's why he had to go. Goes to Syracuse. They're playing great ball. Plays a real deal game versus a great opponent who's ranked and did worse than what he ever did at Ohio State. He set the bar at an all-time high for him of how bad he can be in those real deal games. So, yeah, we saw that happen. But coming back down to Florida State and Miami, Cam Ward, definitely not what you really want to see out of the guy. If you're thinking of him as a Heisman guy. No. But I've kind of had him not in my Heisman mindset for a while now. But he's up there for sure. And who knows, maybe he'll turn it around. He'll find those yards more. Well, he's had the yards all season, but maybe he'll find more touchdowns. But
yeah. I mean, they still won the game handily, right? He still, field general, did good.
I mean, right now you have, I think, like the top 10 is Genty, Cam Ward, Cade Klubnik, Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Caleb Johnson out of Iowa, Bryson Daly out of Army, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Sampson, and then Tyler Show.
So, you mentioned Ashton Genty. Let's talk about Genty here. Like you said, he had his worst game so far. Still rushed for 128 yards and a touchdown.
I also said this last week. I said if he had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, that would be okay. It would be his worst he did all year. But this was definitely the game that we saw him get slowed down the most. This is the most carries he had all year and was the least amount of yards he also had all year. So, that definitely spoke volume. But I said this, and people came at me for this. I said, UNLV will be the toughest defense he's faced yet. Mm-hmm. I said, I know he played Oregon, but the Oregon he played is not the Oregon that we're seeing play ball now. That Oregon was not what we're seeing now. That defense was not there yet.
Yeah,
I get it. If you saw that defense today, it would be completely different than what we saw week 2. But as of last week, that UNLV defense was going to be the best one that he saw. And I was right. I'd have to say I was right. That was the most carries he had, the least amount of yards he was held to. He didn't break off a rush more than 16 yards, which in every other game this season, he's had more than 50 in every single game this year. So he did not break a 20-yard rush off where he's had 50-yard rushes in every single other game. I could definitely say that statement was true. Like, he definitely got slowed down the best that he could have been this year by UNLV. So I think that was a true statement. Like, we saw him get slowed down a bit. We'll see how he comes out the rest of the year, though. But he still right now is on par to do Barry Sanders numbers.
Yeah, 100%. And I still think he was super physical in the game. So he had a couple masterful looking runs. Maybe they weren't that long. But, pounding the rock. And you still don't want to play Boise State if you're anybody. If you see Boise State in the playoff, that's magic waiting to happen. That's Fiesta Bowl 2007 stuff we're talking about.
We're seeing Boise State. They're going to walk through the rest of their season. Like, they're not going to have anybody else.
Right.
UNLV was
same with Miami until you get to Clemson potentially in the ACC championship, right? Like, yeah, same for them. All right, let's see. Ohio State handled Nebraska.
Did they handle?
They handled them. I mean,
no, they did not.
They handled them. They handled business.
They did not handle. They were down to the wire with them.
It was down to the wire, but I wasn't worried. You know what I'm saying?
I was not happy. I mean, so as an Ohio State
fan, Ohio State fan, tell me.
You should not be. No one's happy with this performance, but they do it every year. It's either Nebraska or Rutgers that this team falls flat on the face because they're playing a big team next week, hence Penn State. They're going to come out this week. I feel like they're going to be firing on all cylinders, and they're going to go out and win in Happy Valley.
We said it was a trap game last week. We said this was a trap game. That's why I'm like they handled business because they got out with a win because they're looking to this Penn State game.
Ohio State has always been a team that looks over a team, and they sleep a little bit. But they can still push through the game. They definitely glide through that. But still, you're facing Indiana later this season, and whenever you see Indiana blow Nebraska out like that, and then you can't even beat them by a touchdown.
No,
that's not good.
No, it's pretty wild. We're talking about Indiana, honestly, like that. But yeah, no, you're right. Ohio State.
Cignetti, man, that guy is playing ball. I mean, he had a backup quarterback, and he's still covered against spread versus Washington, who was the runner-up last year. Man, like I know it's not the same Washington, of course, but still, we're seeing Indiana.
Yeah, he's a great coach. I am excited to see what he does there. I'm excited to see what Indiana does, especially, against Ohio State. Part of me wants Ohio State to win out until they play Indiana because that game would be massive for Indiana as a college. But yeah, Will Howard closes the game out. ends up winning it for Ohio State. So, Ohio State's still there, top 4, doing good. Gives us this 3 versus 4 this week. Okay. I was right about this one, so I'm going to gloat a little bit. Texas Vanderbilt. I said Vanderbilt's going to cover. The spread was like, what, plus 17.5 for Vandy?
I don't remember if I took the cover on this, but
yeah. I think we might have both. I think we were both thinking about slapping that thing.
I think we took, what, three of the same locks last week?
Yeah, I think we hammered this one together. I think we punched it.
We hammered this one together. Boise State, which we both covered on Boise State.
Yeah.
And I think we both had BYU.
Yeah, we did. Because BYU was underdog. Yeah, I think they were -2, -3.5 point underdog, or plus 2, plus 3.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, I'm taking BYU with the points. They went into the bounce house, won 37-24. And now BYU, undefeated. They weren't a ranked team starting the season.
No.
And they were like, we are going to spread our religion to you, Football Nation. The Soakers have just absolutely soaked the college football nation. So that's good. But back to Vandy. People are still sleeping on Vandy even this week. We'll get to it. We'll get to it this week, but good job, Vandy. They could have won this game.
Oh, yeah.
They were in it.
They played them to the wire. I mean, they had a few mistakes. So did Texas. Texas knew, like, damn, that was not an easy game. And that's Vandy all year long right now, man. Like, the only team that handled them was Georgia State.
And it doesn't even make sense.
It
doesn't even make sense.
Everyone's, like, freaking out. They're like, how are you walking through the SEC, punching, going toe-to-toe, blow after blow, and you're not winning everything, but you're scrappy. I think scrappy's the best way to describe Vandy right now, is they're scrappy.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. All right. I'm skipping around, so just bear with me here. Illinois and Oregon. I thought it would be closer than it was. Oregon is rolling right now. Dylan Gabriel throws for almost 300 yards, 291 yards. Tez Johnson with 102 of those receiving yards there. I mean, they just shut him down, dude. Illinois couldn't do anything.
Nope.
Nothing. Oregon looked great. I think Illinois is a good football team too. They just weren't playing. They weren't playing their game. They weren't playing the run it down your throat, hard-nosed football. Oregon said, we're playing our football game. We're at home. You're not going to do anything with us. I don't know. Any thoughts on Oregon in this Illinois game? It surprised me. I figured I actually had Illinois covering. I had Illinois covering. It was like minus 21 points or something like that.
Yeah, it was 21.
Yeah.
I feel like we got humbled, and like I said, we got brought back in the beginning of the pod. We got brought back down to earth in multiple ways. This game was one of them. The next game would be Navy and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
We were riding the fame of these teams are undefeated for the first time in forever. They're playing good ball, but they're not playing good ball versus anybody. Like, they're playing nobody. So you put them against their real good teams, and they're like, okay, we're still this. So, yeah, we're not seeing the best. We didn't see the best ball out of them, and it was a little humbling. But I think we're seeing Oregon show, like, hey, we're that team. We're competing, and we're going to play for a national championship this year.
Yeah, and I don't have a graphic because I kind of figured we knew what was going on with Notre Dame Navy. Like, there was a chance that Navy covered that plus 13 points, but we all kind of knew in the back of our hearts, like, this is the end of the road.
Yeah.
Right? Like, part of me wanted to think that Navy could win. I don't think so.
But
Notre Dame's out of playoffs. After they lost to Northern Illinois, I think they're eliminated. I don't think they have a chance back in.
They have one loss, though.
Do they only have one loss right now?
They only have one loss.
And that's Northern Illinois?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not out. Maybe they're not out.
If they win out, you can't keep them out.
Yeah.
Can't keep them out.
Especially with
they beat Texas A&M.
Right, yeah, especially with wins over Texas A&M You assume Navy and Army with how good they are.
Are they playing
and
Army?
USC? They play Army too. Yeah.
Damn.
I know. Yeah. So it's not a easy schedule really. And then you just dropped one at home to a team that you should have beat.
We're seeing a real deal separation of church and state here.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That was good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. That was nice. Anyway, another team that got humbled, ate a lot of humble pie here. Missouri, they went to Alabama, got their asses whipped. Jalen Milroe throws for 215 yards.
So Missouri kept the 25 spot over Vandy.
Yeah, which is, to me,
Mizzou does have the head-to-head win, and they have less losses, but they beat Bama, who, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking I like Vandy more. But
yeah, if I'm a team, if I'm another team, and someone asks me which team would you rather play, Vandy or Mizzou?
Yep.
I think I'd rather play Mizzou. Especially right now with Brady Cook being out. So
yeah, by a mile.
Yeah, I think you're right, by a mile. And last game we'll go over from last week. Hey, we did this pretty concisely. I'm not gonna lie.
We have to. It's freaking 2 a.m., Rob.
Yeah, I know. Well, I set all this up. So you owe me a shot. Obviously, not doing it right now.
I did it earlier.
You did do it earlier. I watched you do it.
Yep.
Texas A&M takes care of LSU. Big time. Now this makes 8 in a row wins. We talked about there 8 in a row wins.
Yeah, 8
for the home team
at home. So yeah, we're seeing this. I mean, and it made that
Nussmeier still threw for 405 yards.
Yeah, but he threw 3 picks.
I mean, you throw 3 picks and you still throw for 405 yards.
Doesn't matter. Like, you're still getting those yards, but that's what cost them the game. I mean, they went into halftime up 10, and they threw 3 picks, and then they just kept points off turnovers is what killed LSU this game. Simple as that. Points off turnovers. But this game, it makes sense that the team who's playing at home wins because these are supposedly 2 of the top 10 atmospheres in all of college football. So it makes sense that if these teams are ranked when playing at home, that they win because they're supposed to be good. So, and also the atmosphere at night is truly insane. Kyle Field, we know that's one of the that's a pretty good one. The 12th man is crazy.
Do you think that Texas A&M is not the better team? They just had the home field advantage? Because I think Texas A&M is the better team now. I think Mike Elko is just.
I think
a
if
great
that game
coach.
was played in Death Valley, LSU would have won. Simple as that. Like,
I don't know.
If it's a neutral site game,
yeah,
maybe A&M.
Okay, so if A&M plays Notre Dame next week, does A&M beat Notre Dame? Because I think it's a whole new team. I don't think it's the same team.
I absolutely do. I think for sure. Yeah, I don't think Marcus Freeman's a great coach. I think Elko's settled down. I think that's the gist of things.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so we're kind of on the same page there. All right, moving on to Week 10, college football. Man, the season just flown by. I am not ready for it's November. This week is November football.
Yep.
And it makes me sad. You know, you wait so long for college football, and then it's here and it's gone.
I mean, the fall flies by, man.
It does.
It really do. It just
Some people don't think it be like it do, but it's Scooby Dooby Doo. That's just how we roll here. All right, so we already had games on Tuesday. Sam Houston, 9-3. What a victory! Let me hit the.
Who cares?
Same with Texas State, Louisiana. Who cares? Kennesaw State back on their losing streak. They said they got their win, and they're heading into the end of the season. Western Kentucky wins. Liberty on a 2-game losing streak now. Lost to Jacksonville State. Almost bet that game last night.
Wasn't it the last time we did a pod? They played Kennesaw State.
Yeah, they were 5-0. Kennesaw State was 0-5.
That was last week, wasn't it?
That was last week, yeah.
And they played Saturday?
They played Wednesday.
Like today?
So, yeah, today. Yeah, tonight.
Boy, get them off the weekdays, man. Them
Yeah.
boys are not doing okay.
Messed them up.
They are hurt.
Yeah. So I will say tomorrow, I tallied it up. Tulane is minus 14.5 favorites over Charlotte. And I took Tulane. I took Tulane in all of my pick'ems. I put them in a parlay, and I'm going to lock them in with minus 14.5 over Charlotte. If not, I like the over. I think the over is at 55.5. Tulane's offense is potent. They've been putting up a lot of points. I think they keep Charlotte to about 14 points, and they're going to score like 30 to 40 points, like a good amount of points. I like it.
Go off with small ball. Yeah.
Yeah, small ball. I mean, Thursday, it gives you something to. I mean, it kickstarts the week. It kickstarts the parlay. That's what I like to see.
I know. I've been loving the slate that we've been getting on these Thursdays and Fridays because they've been fun to watch. They definitely make it easier to get through the week. Looking at what we have for tomorrow, we have Tulane, Charlotte, and then Friday, you have Boise State again, but they're playing San Diego State. So
check out that Aztec logo. It's pretty sick, huh?
Oh yeah,
That's a pretty sick logo.
Been that way for a while, has it not?
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's usually the S and the D.
Is that not the
They're
S and
usually
the D?
S and the D, if you know what I mean.
That's
yeah,
S and the D. Is
they're
it
S
not?
and the D. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
you're talking about on the yeah, that is pretty sick. That looks great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like over here on ESPN. I'm like, it's the S and the D. What are you
No.
talking about?
No, I'm talking about the actual Aztec. Well, the we're culturally appropriating the podcast right now is what's going on. Yeah, Boise State. I think Boise State gets the win here. So what's the spread on it? Minus 22. I think I saw it earlier. Let's take a look at it.
Minus 22 is that one. I'm like
It's at minus 23.5 now. Yeah. See, I don't like that. I almost thought about taking San Diego State with the points, even at plus 22.5. So it's moved up a point. I would take it, but also I'm not going to log it in or anything like that. What do you think? I think San Diego State could cover that.
Yeah, I think San Diego State.
Because I think they
can
feed
cover
Ashton
that.
Genty. I think they're like, oh, he had a bad week, and we want, like, if nothing else, Boise State's like, our guy has a chance to win the Heisman.
I mean, they fed him last week, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they got hit, they got him, so feed him,
Yeah.
So I think they keep doing that. Obviously, loaded slate. So next game, what's going on here? Why am I blanking on this? Okay, Duke at Miami. This is like, I don't understand this spread at all. And tell me where I'm at. It's okay. 11 a.m. Hard Rock Stadium. Miami coming off not a great performance against Florida State. Duke's 6-2, and you got Duke at 20-point underdogs.
Wasn't Duke like 6-1 last week though?
Yeah, they lost. They lost to SMU, to SMU.
And SMU has
SMU's 4-0 in the conference. Same with
SMU's playing Pitt this week.
Yep, and we'll get to that in a second. But this Miami game, I think Duke covers. I think it's close.
Okay, what is it again?
It's minus 20 Miami. Minus 20.
And it's at SMU?
It's at Miami, 11 a.m.
I don't.
No one's going to be in the stadium. It's going to be, I bet. Let's see. Tickets as low as $28. Yeah, tickets as low as $28. If you want to head down to Miami, you could probably sneak in there for free. Honestly.
Yeah, I'll take SMU covering. I think that's
Duke.
Sorry,
Duke. Yeah.
I
would take SMU. I would take SMU covering too.
I'm looking at SMU right now. That's why. But
we'll get to SMU.
I think Duke can cover that game. Malik Murphy's starting to really wrap things up ever since that Northwestern game at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Malik Murphy, good quarter. I mean, came from Texas. I think he's coming into his own at Duke. And they have a lot of leftover talent from Mike Elko's team too. So, yeah, it's just a wonder to me. Okay, staying in the ACC here. Virginia Tech versus Syracuse. This is another game that I was kind of looking at, and Virginia Tech is favorite -3.5 or -2.5 at Syracuse. I'm getting my Kyle McCord revenge here. The -4 now. But I took them. I took them on my pick'em. So I'm locking this in. Virginia Tech to cover the -4 points against Syracuse.
Do you think Kyle McCord will throw 50 or more passes this game though? Because they've been letting that thing fly.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep doing it, but at the same time, he's throwing interceptions after interceptions. It's like maybe balance it a little bit, because if they see it coming, if they keep seeing it coming, he's gonna throw picks. If you can drop back confidently and rush 4 or 5 every now and then, keep containing on. I don't see. And Virginia Tech's a talented team. They've done quite well this season. I think they're a good football team. So I just see them winning by at least a touchdown there.
Where's it at?
It's at Syracuse. It is at Syracuse in the Carey Dome. It's at 11 a.m. though. People in New York don't, or New Jersey, wherever Syracuse is, they don't get up for that kind of game. They don't get up for it. All right. Moving onward to the SEC. This game.
Oh wait, well we do have to show one clip though. This is the clip I've been looking for a little bit now.
Share your screen. I'll throw it up there.
I'm getting there.
What is it on?
It's Kyle McCord.
We'll go back to the.
I'm getting there.
I'll go back to the Syracuse image then.
This one right here.
All right, hold up. Don't play it yet.
I'm playing it.
Don't play it yet.
I'm playing it.
Go back.
I'm playing it.
There you go.
I'm playing it.
Wow, this is good.
This man literally sacked himself.
Oh, that's god awful.
With 230, you've thrown 5 picks, and then you sack yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, he's making Pitt look so good. In this game, I was thinking it was going to be close. Not at all. Pitt absolutely destroyed Syracuse.
Hey,
you know what? Here go 2 more for y'all. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
Oh no, I want to keep scrolling through these. No, these are funny.
That's great.
There you are.
Is that how you feel? Is that how There you are. There you are. All right.
Let's say he said, but he did say he says he spent this Saturday night at Fran Brown's house, getting on the same page. Anytime your head coach has your back like that, it means a lot. I don't think this season is over by any stretch. I think all the guys have taken that message to heart. So he spent the night at his coach's house. All right.
Yeah.
I'm loving these.
You weren't used to do that back in the day. They wouldn't let you stay at night at your coach's house. It was considered.
They were talking playoff implications.
Yeah, we're talking playoffs.
I'm talking playoffs implications.
All right, so
one more. We're gonna watch this last one.
Yeah, you're good. Man,
did you see the lineman pointing his face there?
Man,
did you see the lineman pointing his face?
No,
I got the adrenaline pumping through me. Allen
watch
motions out of the backfield. McCord looks.
Watch this lineman as he's like blocking Kyle McCord.
Dang.
Oh man, Pitt does rock out though. They get crazy over there. I love it. It's such a good vibe.
Do you think they're legit, or do you think it's coming to it? Well, we'll get to it we're going to talk about the game this week, but I've been kind of counting them off, but here they are sitting at 7-0 now.
I mean,
so
they're playing good ball.
Yeah. All right. So Virginia Tech, Syracuse. Do you agree with me at least? You think Virginia Tech's going to win here?
I think Virginia Tech's going to win.
I think so too. I think they cover. It's 4 points. Yeah, I'm liking it. I locked that one in. All right, moving on to the SEC. This game, also another spread, kind of like BYU last week, where not as bad as the BYU game, but I'm like sitting here going, okay, it's at Auburn. I understand Auburn being getting some points, but for Auburn to be -7 favorites over Vandy and just seeing the ball that they played, I'm taking Vandy to cover the 7 points.
But you got to see Pavia. This dude, he played a beast of a game. First off,
Yeah, against
I mean, if I can, I'll show the screen again because
share the screen. Yeah,
I'm just scrolling through Twitter and I'm showing my stuff off. But this clip right here, and I wish I could just mute. I hate the sound, how loud it gets, but
I can mute it on my end, I guess. That's fine.
This play right here shows the grit. Because
that was amazing. That was amazing.
And I mean, that was even like his. In my opinion, I thought the throw that weave between the defenders was like his best play of the game. I mean, he played an absolute great game.
Well, just go back to that one real quick. Full screen it still, and like see how far he does get pushed a little bit, but that's from the 7-yard line. That's from about the 7-yard line. He takes a leap.
I mean, that was definitely a crazy game for him. Just like seeing what he can do and how good he can be. Like, he played a real deal team, and it sucks that he doesn't have like more years of college football to play because I'm pretty sure this is his last year. But yeah, he's been quite the guy to watch. He's what they say is college football's darling. He's the Cinderella of college football, and people are loving it. I mean, just seeing Vanderbilt be brought back to the top, and not to the top, but just relevant.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jay Cutler-esque here.
Gotta find that play, man.
We're gonna go back to this, and then whenever you got something, because I am also locking in Vandy to not only cover, but I think they'll beat Auburn in Jordan-Hare. Something that Vandy doesn't do.
Yep.
Does not do ever. I think this is a special year for Vanderbilt. The 1 year Florida doesn't have to play Vanderbilt. I'm so happy. By the way, we haven't talked about Florida at all because Florida was on a bye week. You might notice I'm a Gator fan. We got Gator stuff in here, so we talk about Florida. We talk about Florida State.
Well, I will be jumping on that.
Yes.
With you.
Yeah. You're going to lock Vandy in?
Correct.
Hell yeah. Double lock on Vanderbilt.
And also, I mean, you kind of have to, because like we'll look back to this last year with this game. I'll go back to screen sharing my screen again. You got me. Cool.
I got you. Yeah. And blam, you're good.
This play right here, this isn't Pavia's first time playing them. He just played them with New Mexico State last year. Homie came out here for heads last week, dropping defenders on the field.
Yeah.
Catching flags, and then beating Auburn at Jordan-Hare. So he's going back to Jordan-Hare with his SEC team now. He's ready. He's ready to show them why he's still doing it. Like, he's that guy. Like, this was him after he threw an interception, and he literally body slammed a defender and caught a flag and then went out and beat him still.
That's awesome.
Guy's a dog. Guy's been a dog. He's been the dog of college football. But I think, especially because he's beaten Auburn before with a worse team, he's going to beat them again.
Beating Jordan-Hare. Peyton Thorne. I think he throws some more interceptions this game.
Peyton Thorne. Let's look at Peyton Thorne.
It's he's got 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. They both have about 1,500 passing yards. Kind of similar stats, honestly. Besides the interception,
the memes are so good. They're so funny.
Peyton Thorne, LeBron James meme here. That's
it's
not.
Like, he's like when it comes to pissing me off every Saturday.
Well, we are not even going to entertain that talk. Peyton Thorne is not even close to LeBron James.
It's not. No, you missed the whole joke. It's saying Peyton Thorne when it comes to pissing me off every Saturday.
Yeah,
that
he's LeBron James.
He's LeBron James. Yeah.
And you know what? I guess big shout out to Zach, who I met for the first time.
Zach's a cool dude, man.
At Old Hickory tonight.
He's our stand-in Auburn fan. Shout out Zach.
Shout out Zach.
I've seen him go through all the ups and downs. He's He would come watch the games with me on Saturdays at the bar, and I'd just see him weep with how bad that team can be sometimes.
And you know what he said?
Like the Arkansas game was rough. I saw him watch that, and that was bad. And then the Oklahoma game was rough. I was like, that's a bad one.
Yeah, that is bad. And they had a chance to win that one. That was rough. I asked him. I was like, how do you think Hugh Freeze is going to do that? And he said, I like Hugh Freeze.
He's loved Hugh Freeze.
And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't. I'm like the Brandon Walker hater.
It's clear
for Hugh
that
Freeze,
Peyton Thorne is the scapegoat of this year's team.
Right.
So that's good for Hugh Freeze because Peyton Thorne is the scapegoat. They're not blaming. It's not a Florida situation where they're blaming Billy Napier, they're blaming Billy Napier.
Yeah.
It's Peyton Thorne.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see if he gets any better, but to me, I don't know. I'm just looking at the team, and it's like you're blaming everyone but yourself. It's not a good look for me. But
I mean,
Zach's a resident Auburn fan, and if a fan of the team is telling me I like him, then I'm gonna be way more open-minded about Hugh Freeze. Because that's I'm a Gator fan. If you're like, what do you think about Billy Napier? I'm like, I want him gone. He needs to go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna listen to him. I don't know.
The first time in a while, we're seeing Florida we're playing ball.
They are playing ball.
We're competing.
They are playing ball. That's my thing. It's like if he somehow beats one or two of these teams, not including FSU, he's here. The job's safe.
If he beats LSU,
if he beats Ole Miss, LSU, Texas, Georgia, somehow, any of those teams, and Florida State, he is here next year.
If he beats Texas or Georgia, he's keeping the job.
He's there, yeah.
If he beats LSU and Ole Miss, he's keeping the job.
Yeah. That's crazy that we can get to Florida in a second, but so we'll wrap it up on this. Auburn's losing to Vanderbilt at home this week, right?
I'm locking Vandy to cover. So.
Yeah, I locked them in to cover. If they don't win, they're covering. Next game, moving on. This is a pretty big game. We thought it'd be bigger going into the season. Oregon going to the Big House at Michigan. This game, number 1 Oregon at Michigan, unranked Michigan now.
This was the most talked about game.
Right, yeah. And we were saying, Oregon, Ohio State. Still, Oregon, Ohio State delivered. But now we're looking at this Michigan game. They're 14.5-point underdogs at home, and I don't think that's enough points. I think you're going to see something similar to Texas at Michigan. I think Oregon covers. I'm not locking it in, though, because I could see a world where it's a defensive ball game at home, and Michigan gets hyped for it.
You know what's crazy is that right now we're seeing Dylan Gabriel's actually the Heisman favorite, according to FanDuel.
Whoa.
He's plus 230.
That's pretty crazy.
He's got plus 230 for Dylan Gabriel. Travis Hunter is plus 270.
I like Travis Hunter as Heisman if he can keep it up. He's playing both sides of the ball. Excellent.
And then Cam Ward's plus 300, and then Ashton Genty, he is plus 440.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, if I'm a betting man, I might just bet Genty.
Right. And I like him too. But to me, if you're playing both sides of the ball, you're picking things off. You're picking balls off every game. You're scoring touchdowns. I don't see how you deny Travis Hunter the Heisman this year.
He definitely had a stat slip up 2 games ago.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't wait to talk about them later though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
And I don't even have a graphic for him, but we can talk about it. But Michigan, Oregon, I don't have much to say. I think Oregon wins.
We gotta cut this music. It's getting too crazy.
What music?
It's like beatboxing. Or
Oh, okay, sorry.
Stepping over here, man.
We're good.
I'm like, what are we doing right now?
It's very very quiet. I mean, we can cut it. We can cut it completely if you want.
I like that. I like that a lot. No, this game, I think Oregon's gonna walk through with ease. I think this is a game that we see Michigan. They solidify themselves as that they are not a contender in the Big Ten anymore. And
yeah, not this year.
No,
not this year. All right,
we're talking Colorado.
Yeah, we can talk Colorado. That's fine with me.
We're gonna talk Colorado. Screw it. First off, we are seeing history. Colorado is bowl eligible. There's a lot of teams out there that aren't bowl eligible, but Colorado is one of them. How did we get here? How did it happen? Hell, if Shedeur Sanders doesn't throw a pick in the red zone against Kansas State, they might be 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
We're like 2 plays away from 7-1. Nebraska handed them a pretty solid loss. And when you see what Nebraska's done, it definitely hurts their image a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, Nebraska's got walked by all these people, and then you guys got walked by Nebraska. Like, we're talking Shedeur Sanders was playing like a crazy game, like throwing pick sixes, and we're seeing the most insane atmosphere in Colorado being back. But to see Colorado be back in the spotlight like this in a positive way, because like last year it was all like everyone wanted them to fail. We want Dion to not win.
I think they still do.
They do.
I think they still do.
But they're winning.
Yeah.
They have a defense now. It's not a great one, but they have a defense now. They're playing decent ball.
You know, Joey also hates our other co-host. He also hates Colorado. And me and you, even last year, we were on the Colorado hype train for a little bit. At least the first 4 weeks.
Fun.
Yeah, it was
fun. Yeah, no, I think
they took care of Cincinnati too. They took care of Cincinnati. Cincinnati's not a bad football team last week. They got a bye this week, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about 6-2, bowl eligible Colorado. Rewind 2 years ago, they won one game. They won one game the entire season. Deion Sanders, to me, as far as I'm concerned, has turned this program around. Even last year was net positive with 4 wins. So, I mean, where they go next year, that's my thing. Where they go next year.
It's true, but it's gonna be weird next year. But focusing on this year, you know, you have a guy in Travis Hunter who is looking to be the first
Heisman contender, yeah.
First two-way player to win the Heisman since '97 with Charles Woodson. So, you know, you're seeing these guys, and then Shedeur Sanders, he's looking to be a first-round draft pick. He's playing, honestly, really good ball. I mean, the offense has always been there. And Travis Hunter, he's ready for the NFL. Like, he will be a top 5 pick. The guy's going to be really good. So, I don't know. I think if he keeps finding the stats, we're going to see probably a Heisman, especially if Genty gets slowed down like a tremendous amount.
Yeah.
Like, if we see Genty put up back-to-back games with less than 100 yards, which we haven't seen it happen even once yet. I'm just talking hypothetical. If we see Genty get put up less than 100 yards of back-to-back games, definitely that would give me like a Saquon Leonard Fournette vibes whenever the first 8 weeks of the year, those guys were talked about in their prime seasons. Like, oh my gosh, we're seeing crazy stuff out of them, highlight reel after highlight reel, crazy games, and then they just fell flat. Which happens a lot with the running backs when they are Heisman favorites. The last one that we saw when the Heisman was Derrick Henry, I believe, and the time before that was Mark Ingram. So, Alabama guys.
That's pretty crazy, yeah. That's pretty crazy going back. All right, so, yeah, Colorado, you know, we didn't cover them in the early portion last week. They're on a bye this week, but, you know, I wouldn't want to play them if I'm going into a bowl game. You know, I mean, maybe you do, because I bet a lot of people are going to sit out. I bet they're going to sit out.
You think
whatever
Shedor's going to stand out?
Sit out.
Nah.
Of a bowl game?
Hell no.
If it's not important, I think he'll sit out.
If they lose out the rest of the year, yeah. But if they're playing like Citrus Bowl,
maybe not. Yeah.
No, because like you got to think, Citrus Bowl will probably be one of the bigger bowls now because it's not a playoff bowl.
He might want to shine against a good team.
Yeah. And it's not going to be, because now that the playoff bowls are all the other New Year's Six bowls.
Yeah.
So there is no New Year's Six bowl. New York Six bowls for the teams that don't make playoffs. So I feel like the Citrus Bowl, that will be like a New Year's Six
bowl.
I can't speak right now.
Yeah, that's fine. It's almost 3 a.m. It's fine,
now. It's a New Year's Six Bowl.
By the way, we had like 6 people watching live earlier, so
that's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, if you guys are watching live, hop in the chat on YouTube. We'll play the comments. So, you know, welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 600. subscribers here on YouTube. So whether you're on X or Twitch, follow us on the YouTube. Get there at the Real Swampcast. But anyway, moving on. It's time to pay the piper. We had a bye week. Now it's the cocktail party, bitch.
The cocktail party.
The cocktail party. Not too excited for it. Myself, Florida had a couple good weeks of wins, and now we got to play Georgia. We gotta, hopefully they all drive separately down there so they get DUIs and don't show up to the game. That's what I'm hoping.
But did you hear the news with this game today is that the next 2 years it will not be played in Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're going to do it in Atlanta and Tampa.
Yeah, Atlanta, then Tampa.
I wish they would just do a home and home like they did in the 90s. Do a home and home.
I think that'd be cool. But, they're going to try and make money.
Mm-hmm. So Raymond James and the Chick-fil-A, the Peach Bowl, new Peach Bowl. Obviously here, DJ Lagway starting with Graham Mertz out for the season with ACL injury. So, different Florida team. Carson Beck is 7 yards short for 2,000 yards, throwing for 2,000 yards on the season already. You got the ETN storyline. ETN transferred from Florida. Now he's playing for Georgia. I think Florida's going to be motivated to play in this game.
Eugene Wilson is out against Georgia, so it'll be Aiden Mazzell who will be getting the start.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
a huge loss for Florida right there, having Eugene Wilson out. Mazzell is a good wide receiver, and I think we saw it in the Kentucky game.
Yeah,
Billy. Well, you saw it in the Mississippi State game.
You texted about Mazzell, didn't you?
Yeah, I like Mazzell. I mean, and Florida's got a deep wide receiver room, but they're younger guys. You got Andy Jean, who's yet to be really unveiled for Florida. But against Kentucky, we saw Billy Napier and the Florida offense line up in these five wide receiver sets and formations. He lined up in empty formation. And that's something you don't see Florida do. You normally see them with a tight end, maybe 3 wide receivers, or even 2 tight ends. So you're kind of seeing a little bit more of the playbook unravel with DJ Lagway out there. I think it's interesting to see. It makes me more excited to watch the offense. But he is young. He's going to throw some interceptions. I think this Georgia defense is going to be too good for Florida. I think they wreak havoc.
He does lead all freshman quarterbacks and passing grade was 78.5.
Look at that. That's great. That's a great stat right there, Justin. That's why you're the stat guy. That's repeat that stat again. He leads all freshman quarterbacks.
He leads all freshman quarterbacks with a 78.5 passing grade this season.
That's great. I still think he throws. He's making decisions. He's making good decisions.
But that's not what your passing grades. Your passing grade is based off your decisions. Like Blake Sims, like he had the second highest passing game ever in Alabama history, and his passing grade was like in the 60s.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it passing grade's like really hard to like as a fan understand and calculate. That is like a coach scout grade. Like it is definitely like that's a stat for coaches and scouts.
Yeah,
because it's like it goes into really deep technical stuff. So
I think,
but it's still a good stat to know. Like, hey, that is a more technical stat. But seeing that he is in the higher 70s of that stat as a freshman is really good because that leaves a lot of room to where he can be in the lower 90s to higher 80s, hopefully.
Well, here's a stat: 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So he's got that explosive potential, but he also has that potential to turn the ball over, and he hasn't played a defense like Georgia yet. So it's rough to see.
He also this is also another stat on him. He has the highest completion rate on 20-yard throws in the country was 63.2%.
That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. I mean, I love. That's what I like about having Lagway in. Even whenever Mertz was there, when you put Lagway in, he had the ability to run the ball, so he's a dual threat, and also he chucked the ball deep down the field, so there was that vertical threat that you didn't really have with Mertz, who kind of dink and dunked Tom Brady him. But another thing in this game, I think it's going to be physical. They moved Jack Pyburn, who was an edge rusher. He's got 25 tackles or I think 35 tackles. What was it? Either 25 or 35 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss. They moved him to fullback this week. He's going to be playing fullback. I don't want a near 300 pounds, 6'5" guy meeting me in the hole on an ISO, dude.
That's what Ole Miss has been doing with their guy too. They've been moving one of their D linemen to fullback, and they'll run it with him sometimes, and he'll get a few yards, or sometimes they'll just put him in there as a donkey, and they'll just hand the ball to someone else, or they'll run a pass play. But because, yes, as you said, no one wants that.
No. It's
not fun because he's getting a head start to charge at you, and that's not fun. But Lagaway, sorry. He is what we thought Anthony Richardson was going to be in those few games, because Anthony Richardson would come out, have a 78-yard touchdown, and we're like, whoa, this is crazy. Can't wait for him to start. And it's like, whoa, you're not.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It
wasn't. That was just lightning. That was just a lightning strike. But Lagaway has consistently been doing that. He's had 19 deep passes this year, completed 12 of them, 500 yards total off those, and he's had 3 touchdowns and only 1 interception on those. He's averaging 41.6 yards per those deep passes. So that is definitely stuff that we're seeing come from Lagaway. They were like,
he is the guy. He's the 5-star that we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, that's a 5-star plus that we're seeing out of him.
Yeah. So, bottom line here, Georgia is minus 16.5 point favorites here, and I do think that's about right. I'm not locking Florida in. I think Georgia does win this ball game. I think it might be closer than the experts think, but you never know. It's a rivalry game. Kirby gets up for this one. Kirby gets up for the Florida-Georgia game. I don't know if you saw this video. I think I might have shared it with you a long time ago. When Kirby played for Georgia, Spurrier was coaching for Florida.
Correct.
And Spurrier dominated the Florida-Georgia rivalry. Much like when Spurrier was playing for Florida in the 60s, Georgia dominated the rivalry. And so I think it's I think I'm going to call it the Spurrier curse. I think that's what it is. And Kirby symbolically rocks the visor, not just for this, but he does rock the visor. Steve Spurrier rocked the visor. I think Kirby got beat down by Florida as a player so much that this game means something. And this game means something to, me as a fan anyway. I hate Georgia. I fucking hate them. And Georgia hates Florida.
So, do you remember, though, Spurrier in 1995 in this game, he put up a late touchdown. And this one definitely caused some hate.
This is it.
Yeah,
this is it, because he was in the game.
Correct.
In this one.
So Spurrier called a late reverse pass to help make Florida.
Are you sharing this right now?
I can.
Yeah. Here it is. We'll put it up here. Oh, this is like a
5-minute clip.
That's old, yeah.
But Spurrier called a late reverse pass to help make Florida the first team to hang 50 versus Georgia in Athens. He was a freshman safety. A freshman safety was on the field when it happened. His name was Kirby Smart.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely sticks with you.
Oh, that lady was crying. This is Spurrier, and this is back in the day when he was getting dominated.
This is not 1995.
No, this is when he was getting dominated. That was Spurrier throwing the ball right there.
He was a Heisman.
So wait, hold up. Trying to see. Are you going to the 95 one or no?
This is the 95 one, isn't
it?
Here you go. Yeah, this is it. That's Kirby Smart right there.
A few moments later, Florida became the first team to ever score 50 points on
Who's the account here? I want to give them, make sure we're giving them credit.
Graham Coffee.
I could use some coffee right now. That's what we needed.
Correct. All right, we're going to watch this play.
50 points on Georgia in Sanford Stadium. Here's the play. And guess who that is? Yep, that's right. Number 16.
Is that Chris Doring
Smart,
with a touchdown there?
Coach. Spurrier's hatred for Georgia was born out of that.
that definitely does ride you and rip you deep as a player, for sure. And also, shout out that guy. That's some deep digging.
It is deep digging, and but it's a deep rivalry. It's a deep-seated hatred between these two teams, going back for a disputed amount of years. like there's a game that these teams don't even agree that they even played. So yeah, I think Georgia wins this week. I think maybe Florida covers. I'd like to think that Florida covers.
What's the spread?
It's 16.5.
So I think there is a game outside the FSU game that Lagway is going to play his best game of the season, where he will keep it to 1-2 mistakes minimum. Or sorry, maximum.
Maximum, yeah.
And he's going to be the true reason why we win the game. I don't think it'll be Georgia, but I do think it'll be Texas or Ole Miss. I don't think it'll be LSU, though.
That would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty crazy if they pulled off any of that.
Actually, LSU it could be, because LSU will be a trap game.
Yeah.
So because they're coming off Bama. So LSU probably is the highest odds that Florida would win, especially if Lagway played his best game. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did against Texas. I don't know why. It's just riding with me in a certain way that if Lagway plays his best game of the year and it comes against Texas, that Florida will win. I just can see it, but it's also that game's in Austin.
I also feel it. I feel it too. So it's not lost on me. I think you're right. All right, moving on real quick. Florida. We got to talk about Florida State real quick. Florida State, North Carolina. North Carolina.
This is an ugly game.
-2.5. Yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I think Florida State might get a win here. But
I think if Florida State wins this game, Mac Brown walks off the field.
Yeah, he might.
I think he should.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to. He's obviously, he retired, mid-game? What game was that?
Was that JMU?
Yeah, JMU. He was like, I'm done. So they put 70. It was like 70-50 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like a crazy. The over for that game was 56 or 53, and JMU hung up 56 in the first half by themselves.
Yeah, so Joey's our FSU correspondent, so he's not back yet. They're stuck with Brock Glenn. I don't think DJ Uiagalelei is coming back this season.
He's out for the year.
What's he doing?
Trying to get another year to play.
Yeah, I guess so. That's to me. That's just you don't need another year to play, dude.
No, he doesn't need anything.
Yeah,
he needs a job.
Yeah, he needs a real job. Yeah, I need a real boy. All right. So I think Florida State might win that one, but I'm not locking it in or nothing. Iowa State, Texas Tech.
Oh, this is a good stat. A Mac Brown coach team has never beat Florida State.
That's a huge stat. That's a massive stat. Is that what you're showing right there?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And then we got this. So wait, go back. Do you think that Florida State wins this game?
Where's it at?
Or do you think it's at Florida State?
Yeah, give it to him.
Give it to him?
Give it to him.
Wow, okay, there you go.
Favored.
North Carolina, -2.5.
Give me. I don't know.
Don't lock them, man.
I don't know if I've ever done this.
No, don't do it.
I don't know if I've ever done this.
Yeah.
But, God, do I do it?
No.
Okay, I won't do it.
Florida State, Seminole Vesicles.
All right, moving on. You gotta grit. What are you gonna do? What do you want to do? Do you want to lock them in?
Florida State, Seminole Vesicles.
Because +2 is not like. If it was +7, I'd be like, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
do it. The Cal game speaks to me, and then you look at the SMU game, you're like, oh wow, and then you look at the rest of the games, you're like, oh wow.
Yeah,
and so now it's like,
they're definitely starting to gel better with Brock Glenn at quarterback, but it's still not good. The wide receivers and tight ends can't catch to save their lives. If they could catch the ball, if they end up catching the ball, then they'll be fine.
What's the weather in Tally this weekend?
Oh, it's probably going to be beautiful. It's early November weather, fall. I think it'll be great. It's not going to be rainy.
Tallahassee weather this Saturday.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be cloudy. Wait, no, it's going to be rainy. How do you do that? You jinx that so fast.
It's going to be raining?
Yes, it has a 50. It has a.
That means it's going to be raining in at Florida Georgia game too, probably. Around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, they're just going to run it with ETN down our throat.
Yeah.
No, move on.
All right. Just real quick, Iowa State, they're 7-0. So we're looking at Iowa State potentially getting into the playoff and winning the Big 12.
I mean, Iowa State right now.
Playing Texas Tech. Texas Tech minus 13.5.
Now this is a team. That's a team that can definitely get you. They'll bite you when
They're 5-3. They got a potential to win this game. I mean, Iowa State almost dropped one to UCF after UCF came off that loss at Florida. They were a drive away from losing that ball game.
Yeah. No, I think Iowa State. They will be humbled soon. I just don't think it'll be this game.
I don't think it'll be this game either. I think it's close. I would like Texas Tech with the 13.5 points, but I'm not locking it in or nothing. But props to Iowa State for
let's look at this. I want to read
being 7-0.
Iowa State started playing football in 1878. Texas Tech began playing in 1925, a whole 47 years later. In that time, Tech has made 41 bowl games, and they played their first in 1937. Iowa State has only made 18 ever. So this is just a Texas Tech guy just trying to bash Iowa State. Okay. They played their first in 1971. That's actually kind of crazy. They played theirs like way later. So, and they're also 5-13 in bowl games.
I mean, what's he trying to say? Is he just trying to?
He's just a Texas Tech guy just trying to bash Iowa State.
Being a dick.
He's being an asshole.
Being a dick is what he's being.
Being a grade A asshole.
All right. Moving on to teams that we did not expect to be undefeated, or sticking with teams that we didn't expect to be undefeated at this point in time. Indiana undefeated going to Michigan State. Indiana looking so fine. She is that girl that you grew up with, and you were like friends.
Literally perfect.
And then she got hot.
She had braces and glasses and acne. And,
yeah.
You viewed her as your sister growing up, and
you're like, Charlene,
you and Charlene turned 16. You're going into the junior year. Charlene went to South Dakota for the summer and came back. You're like, whoa, Charlene, is that you?
She's an 8-0. 8-0. Strong 8.
About to be 9-0.
She left. What was last year? She was like, what 5, 4,
5-4, something like that.
Now she's an 8. Sparty. I don't think Michigan State's a bad football team. I mean, they're 4-4. I don't think they're a bad football team. But Indiana -8 now. I think I got them earlier today. -7, -7.5. I like that.
You got so pull up a screen share. This was just really cool to see. Just seeing
you got to restart it. There
Indiana.
Pressure off the edge, and it's intercepted. D'Angelo Pond, roll out the big
and then he dropped the ball.
Carpet, touchdown Indiana. Pressure off.
Screw when he dropped the ball. Seeing Indiana, seeing Bloomington have that energy, that's crazy.
Well, I'm just at one point. I can't remember if it's this play or another play where
It doesn't matter. They won the game, Rob.
Right? No. But I'm just saying. Stignetti, just amazing coach. Like, he took the player aside and chewed his ass out for like that. He coached him up. That's what you do.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's going somewhere else.
He's a great coach. But I'm not we're seeing Bloomington first time. First time we've really ever seen Bloomington just be this way. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, he got lit. He definitely got lit. All right, so Indiana -8. ESPN fan predictor got them at 83%. I don't think that's enough. I think I'm locking Indiana in with my third or fourth lock. I think I'm locking them in. I got them winning this game big time.
I mean, I'm also going to Indiana because they're undefeated against the spread. So why would you not?
Boom.
So I'm locking them in. Until they aren't free money anymore, I'm going to keep betting the free money.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it.
They've covered every single game this year. They are 8-0 and 8-0 against the spread.
8-0. So Indiana, I mean, and I'm looking forward to that Ohio State game. I am looking forward to the Ohio State game, and Indiana being undefeated. Ohio State rolling in there with maybe one loss, maybe two losses. That's going to be big time. Big time. Damn. All right. We're going to try and move it rapid fire here. Texas A&M, South Carolina. There's so many good games this week. There are so many good games this week. This is ungodly how many good games there are. Texas A&M, South Carolina at 6 p.m. Williams-Brice Stadium at night is hostile. It's a hostile environment. They start playing it's
Sandstorm.
It's gonna go absolutely insane in Williams-Brice Stadium. It doesn't matter though. Texas A&M's gonna win this game. They're minus 2-point favorites. I got them. I'm locking them in again. Another lock.
Wait, they're minus 2-point favorites.
They're minus 2 point. Texas A&M minus 2-point favorites.
And LSU was 1.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Well, I mean, it's. I think they're factoring in the home field advantage at night.
They do. That gives you 4 points automatically.
Yeah.
So they still only have this as a 6-point game, really.
And I think South Carolina's good, like defensively, very good football team. You saw them play Alabama to the very end of that game.
Yep.
And even with LSU, I they got pressure on Nussmeier. They made him, throw, I think, a couple interceptions. Or one interception that game. They got to him.
Well, so the real question is for Texas A&M is, so in that LSU game, we saw them play. They started.
They took Wegman out.
They took Wegman out, and then they went to, what was his name? Oh yeah, Marcel Reed. Who ran 62 yards for 3 touchdowns, and he only threw 2 passes, but still, so is he starting this week? I mean, I assume so, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Marcel Reed started against Florida, and that's when I realized that Marcel Reed is real. At least he's an athletic runner. So I think you got to go the dual quarterback system here. I think you give it to the hot hand, because sometimes Wegman's hot, sometimes Reed's hot. So I think you got to feed the hot hand here. But I got Texas A&M. Who do you got?
I got Texas A&M.
There we go. We're locking them in. Well, I locked them in. I don't think you're locking them in.
No.
What the fuck is going on? Okay, here we go. We're fine. All right, moving on. Next game. Like I said, we're trying to go rapid fire here. Big time rapid fire. Minnesota versus Illinois at Illinois. Illinois is an underdog at home. I almost wanted to take them. I'm not locking them in, but I think Illinois is going to win this game after coming off that loss.
No, I don't. What's the spread here?
It's -3, Minnesota.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Minnesota's favorite, -3. That's why I'm taking it, because it's at home in Champaign, Illinois. It's at 11 a.m. I don't know. I think they're pretty evenly matched teams there. I think they're pretty evenly matched.
What, PJ Fleck's a better coach?
Yeah, he rows the boat. I know he rows the boat, but I don't know. I think I got to go with a home team on this one. I'm going with a home team, taking them. I don't know, not locking it in or anything, but it's a good game. It's a good game to watch. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. Any final thoughts on that one?
I mean, no. I think Minnesota's going to win this game, but the -3 throws me off. I don't like it.
All right, quick pick. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Ole Miss is -7 favorite at Arkansas.
I mean, Ole Miss is going to win this game.
I think Ole Miss is going to win. I think it's going to be close.
I think, actually, give me Ole Miss to cover the -7.
Lock it in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Locks it in. I think Lane Kiffin is checking himself out, though. I don't think he's all
Not yet.
in.
Not yet. He's still competing.
He was complaining about LSU getting the night game that week. You brought that up earlier. That was, I heard someone say, "Well, don't lose to Kentucky then." And yeah, that's how you get a night game at Ole Miss.
Let's pull that clip up. Lane Kiffin, night game, because he's like, I just want the people of Oxford to experience, a night game. And I'm just like, well, it's true. Don't lose to Kentucky.
They need to, but you just can't. You can't be losing to Kentucky if you want to do it. If you want to do that.
He said, "Shocker, they're 2 for 2." Oh, here we go.
It's the November 9th kickoffs, 2:30 for y'all against Georgia. So you got 2 morning, 2 afternoon kicks left. From your perspective or coaching perspective, is there any advantage at all to playing day to night kickoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
right at full screen
over time in NFL and college. Playing at night in electric atmospheres is a home field advantage, and tough when you got to do that as a opposing team. So
full screen the
proven for a long time, and
Lane Kiffin.
So
full screen the Kiff. Yeah, there you go.
Play at night again, I guess. Shocker. So that's 2 for 2
Shocker.
for them. It is an advantage. I feel bad for our fans. To not have one night conference game is really unfortunate for them. And
it's always nice to have one night game, one night conference game. That's true.
No, I mean he makes a true point, especially because let's see. I don't know where the Egg Bowl is this year. I think it's at State, right?
Yeah.
No, it's at Ole Miss. All right,
Gotta be.
shut up. Wait. No, it's 2:30. They're playing the Egg Bowl at 2:30?
Well, Mississippi State's only won one game so far this season. So
It's the Egg Bowl, and it's always played at night.
the Egg Bowl's it's been on like Thursdays and Fridays.
It's on Thanksgiving.
It's on Thanksgiving. So that's a Thursday, yeah, Thursday night.
Well, no, it's on Friday this year. Okay, it's on Friday.
Yeah,
That makes more sense.
They do set that. I remember since we've been doing this podcast, because when they did the dog piss leg,
it was on that.
Yeah, that was like a nighttime Friday night or Thursday night Egg Bowl.
Last year was a night game.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, Lane
That
Kiffin
definitely takes some of the swagger away.
a little bit.
Like, what else is happening that week that you're like, oh, we have to have this game instead?
Probably a bunch of good it's rivalry week. So,
But what's happening on Friday night? Let's see. You have a lot. Georgia Tech, Georgia. They're the 6:30 slot.
That's not bad.
Nebraska, Iowa's a 6:30 slot. Utah, UCF is 6:30 slot. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the Egg Bowl should get that spot still.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe if Mississippi State was any good this year, they would have done it. But anyway, moving on. So you got Ole Miss winning. I got Ole Miss winning too. I think someone said they think Arkansas is good. I was watching. I think it was Unnecessary Roughness, and one of the new guys on there was like, I think Arkansas is going to win that game.
He's trying to get out there and be edgy, man.
Yeah, I don't
Trying to
think
set himself apart from the crowd.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
used to
I don't
do
see
that.
Sam Pittman winning. I think Lane Kiffin wins this game. All right, moving on. Alabama goes to Death Valley. This is a night game. You're gonna complain about a night game. It's not gonna be Alabama at LSU. That's prime time. Always prime time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always a primetime game, but sorry. Get a little sidetracked here.
Am I wrong?
Yep. I was like, dude, this game.
They have a bye week.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you could see it in my reaction, but I was like,
No, I'm looking at the schedule. I guess I'm looking ahead to week 11. So
I was like, yeah, I'm excited for that game too next week.
yeah, no, we'll skip that one. Sorry, that's my bad. Clemson, Louisville. This is a pretty big game. Clemson's still undefeated in ACC play. They're minus 10.5 point favorites over Louisville. I still like Clemson to win this game. I still like Clemson to win this game.
Yeah, so do I. I'm sticking Clemson here.
Yeah, sticking with Clemson, not locking it in or anything like that because I think it could be close. But I like them. I like them a lot. I like them. Staying in the ACC, Pitt, undefeated Pittsburgh, going to SMU, both undefeated in conference play. So this has huge ACC implications. Implications. I don't know who you got here. I'm kind of curious what you have to say about Pitt because I have not been following Pitt like I need to.
They're a good defensive team. They've played great ball. They haven't been tested truly yet.
And it's at SMU, too.
Yeah, it's at SMU. So I'm actually taking SMU with the cover.
Taking SMU with the cover. They are favorites minus 7.5. I think I'm with you. I'm with you there. I like SMU, too. I think they're playing good ball. And from what I've seen from them, I think they're a lot more explosive than Pitt is. They have the explosivity factors. So.
I mean, that Louisville game sticks with me a lot on what they did. So
yeah. So I like it. I think we're in agreement there. Moving on, another one in the SEC, Kentucky. I just threw this in here because it's a good spread game. I think I think you could take Kentucky minus 15 or plus 15.5 and feel good about it here as like throw it on a dog parlay.
Yeah.
Or something. Tennessee wins.
Yeah, Tennessee's going to win. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. You got a point, but I don't know. I'd stay with Tennessee.
Minus 16.5 now. So it's good. It went up.
So they got to win by 17.
Went up, yeah. So
I win by 3 scores. That's a little different.
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I've used all my locks. I think I have used all my locks.
I have 2 more, I think.
I went with. Yeah, so go ahead and go over.
This is going to sound weird. Marshall is playing. I mean, I have to bet Marshall. Marshall's playing Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe is 5-2, and they lead the Sun Belt, but Marshall's favored 10.5 versus Louisiana Monroe. I don't know why, and I'm like, I don't think Marshall's going to cover that, so I'm going to lock in Louisiana Monroe. But I think Marshall's still going to win.
I like the Marshall lock.
I hope we cover it.
Yeah.
But like I don't think we are. I just don't think Louisiana Monroe's actually a pretty decent team. So I'm not going to lock in Marshall cover. I'm going to lock in Louisiana Monroe.
Nice.
So, which is a little, trickery to who I am, but I just don't believe in the team as a whole to get that done. And so I need another
Gotcha.
one.
All right. So my locks here, I got Texas A&M minus 2.5, Indiana minus 7.5, Tulane minus 16.5, Virginia Tech minus 3.5. That moved to 4, so I got them at minus 3.5, and Vanderbilt at plus 6.5 at Auburn. So I don't know if you got your locks with you, but I'm just saying that to get the 5 in.
I think, I don't know, this one's a weird one.
And we did not talk about this game, Army, Air Force, before we get to the game of the week. Army, Air Force. Army is favored minus 22 points. I think they cover that. Air Force is 1-6. I think Army goes undefeated up until they play Notre Dame. And then they got Air Force, North Texas. They beat North Texas, and then they run into the brick wall that is Notre Dame. So you could throw a lock on that.
I think I'm going to go with Nebraska to cover minus 6.5 versus UCLA.
I like that. And I thought UCLA was the underdog there, and for good reason. I do like that, especially how Nebraska played Ohio State.
I mean, it's at Nebraska.
Yeah.
So.
I think they could do it to him. Thanks, not that Mary. The other Mary. Hot.
What did they say?
She said hot.
Hot.
She said hot.
Thanks, Mary.
All right, and that's gonna bring us to
bedtime. What?
Almost bedtime. Yeah, it is. No, it's for sure It is for sure bedtime. But we got one more game for you, and that's going to be the game of the week, which is obviously Ohio State at Penn State.
Oh shit!
Ohio
I
State.
Rid of lock, dude. I'm so tired right now, man. You gotta excuse me. Yeah, I gotta get rid of a lock somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine.
I gotta get rid of a lock. Oh god, I'm so tired right now, man.
So Ohio State, Penn State, number 4 at number 3, Beaver Stadium. Not a whiteout. Dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I think Ohio State wins. I think Penn State can't get over the hump.
What's the spread?
It's Penn State's plus 3.5.
Yeah, give me Ohio State.
At home. You're going to take Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll take Ohio State, too.
Lock it.
Are you locking in? All right. That's fine. Get a lock. And Kentucky, yes. I think this is the classic James Franklin.
I feel like they should fire him if he loses this game.
I think so too. If because you're never gonna get past that.
The guy's lost 26. I think it's his last 26 top 5 matchups. Like top 5 games or top 5 ranked opponents.
Yeah, you're not getting past it. You're just not.
There was a crazy stat. Hold on, I gotta find it again. Damn it! I gotta always keep these things.
But okay, but let's just say Penn State does win this game. You're staring down the barrel at Washington win, Purdue win, Minnesota. Maybe it's a win.
Okay, here it is.
Maryland, maybe it's not a win. I don't know.
Ryan Day hasn't beaten a top 5 opponent since September 3rd, 2022. He's lost 4 straight. James Franklin hasn't beaten a top 5 opponent since October 22nd, 2016. He's lost 10 straight. They face off this week in a top 5 matchup.
That's it. One of them's going to get it.
Ryan Day is 1-7. No, 1-6 versus top 5, and James Franklin is like way worse. Yeah, Ryan Day is 2-6 versus top 5 teams. James Franklin is 3-17 versus top 10 teams, and 1-9 versus Ohio State.
Very good. I mean, I'm not convinced still. I think Ryan Day pulls this big one off, and James Franklin doesn't.
I love this quote from, I don't know who this is, B-Carp3, Bobby Carpenter. Stats are like hostages. When you cut them up, they'll tell you whatever you want, and I die by that. I love that statement. That's a great one.
That is awesome. Can you, what's going on in your headphones? I can hear something. Can you hear anything? No? No? All right, good. That's fine. All right. I mean, you got Ohio State. I got Ohio State.
Do we have a shot game? We don't need a shot.
Oh, we don't have a shot. We didn't make one. Yeah, let's make one real quick.
All right, let's go through it. You are... Okay, hold on. Let me get my list back up. Well, you know the ESPN app is so crappy. It's like the biggest piece of shit. I'm going on a rant. That it's so glitchy, so slow. You would think ESPN and freaking Disney would know, like, hey, we have the biggest sports platform in the world. Why don't we just invest more money into making this a better app? And it's the most shittiest app ever. Anyways,
Washington USC. That could be a shot game.
Who are you taking?
I want Washington.
I also want Washington.
All right. Can't do it then. I mean, you got Auburn to win, or you got Vanderbilt to win?
I got Vandy to win.
All right. All right.
It's all right.
I mean, Northwestern Purdue, all-time shit game right there.
I'm okay. Duke Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami winning.
I got Miami too.
What about the Penn State Ohio? We're both taking Ohio State. What are we gonna do here? I mean, we don't have Joey to disagree with us here.
North Carolina, Florida State.
Yeah, I think we both said Florida State to win.
Okay.
Arizona, UCF. I'll take UCF. I'll take UCF. Damn, we're kind of on it today. We're on it this one. Arizona State, Oklahoma State. Shot game.
I'm taking Oklahoma State.
I'll take Arizona State. There you go.
Do you really want to take Arizona State?
Yeah, I'll take Arizona State. They're favorite. They're minus 3-point favorites. It's at Oklahoma State, so I think it's
a night game.
I think it's pretty even ball game in Stillwater. Night game in Stillwater. Home team's underdog. I think Oklahoma State's gonna win.
Wait,
but
Pitt SMU. Who do you have?
I got SMU. Fuck. Yeah. I think this is a good shot game. This is an exciting game.
We'll take it.
Yeah, that's fine. Oklahoma State, Arizona State. I got Arizona State. Shot game. Well, that's going to do it for us. We got one in. Week 10 college football extravaganza. Thank you guys for staying on here. The two of you who are watching on YouTube. Well, the one of you watching on YouTube and the three of you guys watching on Twitter. So thank you guys. Follow us. Follow college football extravaganza and at Real Swampcast. We're going to get some fucking sleep. You need to get some sleep and wake up because we got college football tomorrow.
We got college football
football tomorrow. Big game, Tulane. Big game, Tulane, baby.
Good
Adios.
morning.